Hey everyone, I am back again, and today's message is a really powerful one for all of you guys who are into your personal development, or maybe you're just on the fence, maybe you just dabble a little bit, don't think you need to do any of that woo work or whatever. But I've really been, I've had this inspiration to talk about this particular message because this is the kind of work that I do each and every day, and I dedicate my life to it, right? And oftentimes I'm meeting new people, and particularly because I've just moved up here to beautiful Noosa, so I'm kind of meeting a bunch of new people and expanding, my network a little bit, and it's been really interesting to get to go and have dinner at people's places and connect with them in a whole new level and just learn from them, and also kind of like see where they're at in terms of how they manage their lives. And I don't know about you guys, I personally have a tendency of kind of hanging out with older people. I don't know, I don't know how that happens, but I end up hanging out with I end up hanging out with a bunch of older people a lot of the time, and I'm always super fascinated because they've had more years on the planet and they've got different experiences, and I love fascinating over people and learning about who they are, where they've come from, what they've experienced, how they've navigated their challenges in their lives, and ultimately what's meaningful to them. And so today's message is about kind of triggered by one of the circumstances and some of the human beings I've been meeting recently. And that makes today's message all about the fact that you can't bypass your growth by pretending you've got nothing to work on, right? And we've all got something to work on. But I had dinner a few nights ago with an amazing couple, and it was super interesting to dive into their world. They're a bit older than myself, and just to dive and back and forth, and I don't know, because I love relationships so much, and because the people that I'm connecting with know that that's the industry that I'm in personal development, and love relationship dynamics and helping people create something way better in their dynamic. I tend to get people very opening up to me, right? And talking about their relationships. And this couple was no different, and they opened up and they talked about, their major challenge. And one of the challenges they were having was, so universal in a lot of the relationships, particularly that I get to deal with, because usually one person or both people kind of think they're doing it the right way and they're on the right track, and the other person is doing it wrong, and they need to be woken up to what they're doing wrong, and they need to maybe have a change, right? So what happened in this particular circumstance, and see if you can relate with it, but one of the people in the relationship was kind of criticizing the other one and saying, they need to just come back down to reality, right? Like they need to do something with their lives. Like I don't see them doing anything, meaningful. They're just doing the bare minimum of what life requires of them. But, and this person was, kind of like, will they wake up and will they start doing what their passion is, right? Because the other person knows what their passion is, but they're lacking confidence to move in that direction. And their partner who gets to live with them every day is like, what are you doing? Like, hang on, come on, wake up, right? And so a lot of back and forth over the night was able to identify absolutely that this person who supposedly wasn't doing anything from their partner's criticism was lacking a lot of self-confidence in terms of moving in the direction that they're inspired to. And the partner who was doing the criticism in this regard, or the wake-up call in this regard, was really saying to them, you know what, like you can't keep pretending. You can't keep going and doing a meditation or, doing this or doing that. It's escapism. You're just trying to make yourself feel good in the moment to distract yourself from a life that you're not really going for it. You're not really accessing your greatness. And, when he was talking into this and I'm just watching the dynamic, it was super interesting to see that at play because, I don't know about you, I've certainly been there in my past. So before I even knew what personal development was, That deeper part of me knew I wasn't on the right path. And so what did I do? I turned to different outside sources to just distract myself, right? And I'd get immersed and I'd be in escapism, right? That's really what it was. But it was to distract me from the work that I really needed to do on myself. And so I could really relate to this person, potentially lacking that self-belief or lacking that clarity in that direction and ignoring that inner voice potentially and just distracting themselves. But where the real trap is when we end up distracting ourselves with things that look super healthy on the outside, right? So for this particular person, it was losing themselves in meditation, like just going to meditate in order to feel how they wanted to feel, but not actually take any different action in their lives, right? And it's disguised as this really great thing, because it is. Meditation can be a very healthy thing that we're engaging in, to train our brains to focus, to get clarity of mind. There's a lot of benefits, right? But not when it's used as escapism. And the scariest things to use for escapism are always the things that look good on the surface and you're told in society that are super healthy. One of my escapisms used to be with exercise, right? And that's actually the stepping stone for me to leave behind, a pathway that was destructive and unhealthy. Looking after my health and looking after my, my fitness and getting so Nazi-like with my nutrition and all that stuff was a really good distraction. But it looked on the surface super healthy, and then that was the stepping stone to the deeper work that I do now and that whole journey that I've gone on. And of course, my health and looking after my fitness and my nutrition is a huge part of my life, but it's no longer an escapism. Now what it is me just valuing myself, right? And looking after my body and my health and my energy levels. But I recently even had a little example to just test me on that, because I was getting pretty hooked in this new F45 classes that I was going to. And I ended up getting a fracture in my hand, and it stopped me from training. I haven't been able to do my F45 training in nearly 2 months now because I got a fracture in my hand. And to me, it was actually a bit of a wake-up call and a recheck-in with my escapism to go, hang on a minute, think you were getting a little bit addictive with that, and maybe it was distracting you from some of the other work that you really need to do. And because I've got that fracture in my hand, I ended up having to go and not being able to go to train, and so I had to do other things with that time, and it actually made me go a lot deeper into my emotions, all sorts of stuff that I would not have actually uncovered had I not got the fracture in the hand. And it freed up all this extra time that I was using to travel back and forth to this F45, this training facility, spend that time, connect with all those people, doing all that stuff. So, that was a great check-in for me to make sure that I wasn't bypassing my growth and pretending I had nothing to work on. Now, that is a tendency that can happen for all of us, particularly when we are comparing down potentially, where we think, oh, well, these people that are surrounding me, they don't even do any work. So compared to them, I'm way on top of my game, so there's nothing that I need to worry about, right? We always want to be comparing up, but not in a judgmental, negative way that diminishes our self-worth, in a way that's whoa, look what's possible, right? These people are doing extraordinary things. What are they doing in their personal growth? How are they taking action? What are they learning about? How can I apply that to my own life? And we can compare up to help us realize where we might be, trying to bypass some of our growth and pretending that we have nothing to work on. So my question to you guys is today, where is it in your life that you may be bypassing your own growth by pretending you've got nothing to work on? And sometimes this is just a defense mechanism that's trying to protect us, right? That from a scarier truth that deep down we know. Maybe that's in our relationships, maybe that's in our health, and we're avoiding things that are leading us down a destructive path, or maybe it's in our career path, what we're choosing to do with our lives. in whatever way that may be for you, I want you to look at what are the things in my life that I may be distracting myself and using them for escapism, and I'm trying to bypass the growth that I know I need to do, and I'm just kind of pretending I got nothing to work on because it makes me feel significant, it makes me feel good, right? But at the end of the day, you've got to have a growth mindset, and you've got to realize your potential is limitless. You know, the more you grow yourself, the more you're going to access a new level of it. You're never going to stop growing. You know, that's my wish for you, right? Because the moment you stop growing yourself is the moment you start dying, all right? So you need, I actually plan, you know, I don't even believe in retirement. If I'm really honest, I just don't, right? I actually can envision myself as a 90-something-year-old on stages doing this same work, but at a higher level because I would have had a whole lot more experience in my life, right? So, you know, there's always more to grow from, and there's always more room to expand, but you have to be honest with yourself about how you try and bypass your own growth, and don't get caught in those quote unquote healthy things that you think are serving you, but actually they're allowing you to bypass some of your growth. And like I said, that is overlearning. All right, so you guys know I run an academy, right? So I run the Limitless Potential Academy. I attract a lot of people just like myself who love to learn, right? But what I've had to do in that academy, and with all of the things that I teach in there, I make everything actionable and applicable to your life, right? Rather than it just be an addiction to learning, which so many of us have, and we're just like jumping to this course and that course and signing up for this and signing up for that, but then where is that actually being applied to our lives? You know, I don't let you use the work that I do to escape and bypass the growth that you really need to be looking at, right? By making it actionable, right? So that's one way that we can get caught up in our escapism, by learning, overlearning. I know that's, you know, I love learning, right? I'm addicted to learning, but I'm also addicted to taking action on implementing this stuff, because otherwise I feel like I've wasted my time, right? So hope you get that message as well. And yeah, look at, you know, on your health, overdoing health looks healthy, right? But is it escapism? Only you really know the deeper truth. So sit with it, right? And actually ask yourself, why am I doing this? Why, like, is there something that I'm actually trying to bypass right now? Am I trying to bypass an uncomfortable area of growth? You know, and I'm kind of addicted to this thing that looks healthy, but maybe actually how I'm using it isn't so healthy. Just like the friend that I explained who's been using meditation and kind of had his partner call him out on, hang on a minute, like that's all well and good, but don't use meditation as your escape route from living a life of greatness, all right? And you know, sometimes we need people in our lives who can call us out like that. And it doesn't have to be deemed this criticism or this attack. There's obviously better ways of communicating with each other so that we can drop those defenses. But at the end of the day, look at what's being given to you, take the personal element out of it, and search for the element of truth. And search for how it is a gift and it's serving you. All right, so that is my message for you guys today. I definitely want to check in with you guys. What is the thing that you like to, you know, maybe bypass your own growth with? Just get you thinking about that. And you know, hoping that this message in particular is going to wake you up to that and get you out of the zone, so you don't have to maybe get a fracture in your hand like I did, to kind of go, oh, okay, now I have this time to sit with myself, and now I can kind of see that I really need this time to sit with myself, and I would have been going and doing this other thing, but you know, because of this thing that's forced me to stop, I can actually realize it's very healthy for me to do this. And how can I use this once my hand is fully healed and I'm back on track and I can go and do that thing again? You know, how can I ensure that it's not coming at the expense of my personal growth? All right, so hope this has served you, and I definitely want to check in, so please drop me a comment, let me know where in the world you're tuning in from, say hi, or share any words of wisdom you guys guys absolutely know that I love connecting with you guys. But I have got Choppy here, and Judy, and Emma, and Jerry. Hi, Vanessa. Thanks for your live awesome wake-up call before going to work. Awesome, Jerry. I love that I caught you before work this time, not in the middle of it. And awesome. Grateful that this is a bit of a wake-up call for you. And Michael is here as well, and beautiful Dawn is in the house. I love it. Awesome. And Jerry, we have to consciously be aware of our state of mind and know where we are at, and to where we can be better. Absolutely. Take care, Vanessa. Thank you, Jerry. And absolutely, it's all about our level of consciousness. That's why meditation, is a good thing, right? But I like to actually meditate on questions for myself, deeper questions, just like what I'm asking you guys to do today, and use it in a healthy way that can give you some answers to how you're really operating, build a higher level of consciousness, and monitor your state of mind, like you're saying there, Jerry, and and actually use it to take some action, take a different action that will support you and your growth and ensure you ain't bypassing any of that growth. All right, so really hope this message has served you. As always, guys, I'm sending you all of my love, light, blessings, gratitude, energy, enthusiasm, everything extraordinary coming to you to wherever you are in the world today. I really do hope that it's beautiful, amazing, and extraordinary, that you're doing something super empowering, and today's message has absolutely served you. Thank you so much for everybody who's been able to join me live. I absolutely love and adore and cherish each and every one of you guys. Hope this has absolutely hit home for you. Drop me comments as we go through, and I cannot wait to see you guys tomorrow. Much love.